Samsung Galaxy S23 vs iPhone 14. The Samsung Galaxy S23 and Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus probably won't be as exciting as the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, but they are also sure to be a lot more affordable and will probably be very popular as a result. They have a lot of competition in this space though, as the S23 will be directly competing with the iPhone 14, and for the first time Apple has a clear competitor to the Plus Model 2, in the form of the iPhone 14 Plus. So with that in mind, we've compared the upcoming standard Galaxy S23 and Galaxy S23 Plus to the standard iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus to see it, based on leaks and rumors in the S23 series case, which is likely to come out on top. Leaks suggest the Samsung Galaxy S23 and Galaxy S23 Plus will look pretty much identical to each other, just with the Plus model being bigger. They will likely have flat screens with a punch-hole camera in the top center, while in the back the cameras will seemingly jut out of the rear end individually, rather than being housed in a camera block, as on the S22 and S22 Plus. Bezels appear narrow, as you'd hope for high-end phones, and we're expecting the back to be made from glass, and the frame from metal. They could have tough Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protecting the screen, an I68 rating for dust and water resistance, and come in a choice of Coneflower, Misty Lilac, Botanic Green, and Phantom Black shades. You can read more about the possible colors in our Samsung Galaxy S23 Colors Guide. Next, we come to the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus, which also have flat screens, a glass back, and a metal frame. However, they have a notch rather than a punch-hole camera, leaving them arguably looking less modern. They also have a camera block on the back rather than individual lenses, but they have an I68 rating like we're expecting from Samsung's phones, and they use ceramic shield tech to protect the display. So there are a lot of similarities here. The biggest difference could be the color choices, with these phones coming in a choice of midnight, purple, starlight, product red, or blue. They also have different weights and dimensions, of course, with the iPhone 14 being 146.7 x 71.5 x 7.8 and 172, while the iPhone 14 Plus is 160.8 x 78.1 x 7.8 and 203. Assuming leaks about the S23 series are right, the iPhone 14 is slightly larger and heavier than the Galaxy S23, while the iPhone 14 Plus is a little larger and heavier than the Galaxy S23 Plus, but not by much. Leaks suggest the Samsung Galaxy S23 will have a 6.1-inch 1080 x 2340 AMOLED screen with a 120 Hz refresh rate, while the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus will have the same specs, but attached to a 6.6-inch screen. That would lead to 425 pixels per inch for the S23 and 393 for the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus. The main difference here then is that the Samsung Galaxy S23 series will probably have a higher refresh rate than these iPhones. That might give the screens on Samsung's phones a slight edge overall. But it's not a complete victory, as the iPhones have marginally higher resolution displays, and the iPhone 14 Plus's screen is a little bigger than we expect the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus's to be. If leaks are to be believed, then the Samsung Galaxy S23 and Galaxy S23 Plus will have the same cameras as each other, namely a 50MP phone .8 main sensor, a 12MP f2.2 ultra-wide, and a 10MP f2.4 telephoto with 3x optical zoom, along with a 12MP front-facing camera. The iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus also have the same cameras as each other, specifically a 12MP phone .5 main snapper, a 12MP f2.4 ultra-wide, and a 12MP phone .9 selfie camera. We're expecting the Samsung Galaxy S23 to have a 3900 mAh battery with 25W wired charging and either 15W or 10W wireless charging, while the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus will probably have a 4700 mAh battery with 45W wired charging and either 15W or 10W wireless charging. That could have the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus beat, as the former has a 3279 mAh battery with 20W wired charging and 15W wireless, while the latter has a 4323 mAh battery with 20W wired charging and 15W wireless. The big win here then is the relatively speedy 45W charging speed likely to be offered by the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus. You shouldn't feel short on power with any of these phones. Samsungs are almost certainly going to run a supercharged version of the already flagship class Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset, while Apple's used the company's own powerful A15 Bionic chipset. If anything, the Samsung Galaxy S23 series might have the edge, which isn't usually the case, but Apple decided to use a year-old chipset in the basic and plus models of the iPhone 14. Either way, though, we doubt there will be much in it. Assuming the above leaks about the Samsung Galaxy S23 and Galaxy S23 Plus are accurate, they could pose strong competition to the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus. Samsung's phones might have higher refresh rates, an arguably more modern design due to the lack of a notch, an extra camera, bigger batteries, faster charging, and, at least in the case of the S23 Plus, more starting storage. The iPhones have fewer wins, at least on paper, but their screens are likely slightly higher resolution, there could be more storage options, and the iPhone 14 Plus probably has a marginally larger screen than the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus.